Hi guys, today I want to do an on my shelf video. The original video is created by Ian Broom and I'll put a link to that one in the description. I saw this video on Sanne's account called Books and Quills. The idea behind it is that you ask random numbers from people who refer to shelves and to certain books on those shelves, and in that way you get to talk about books you normally wouldn't talk about. So I thought it was a really cool idea. At the end of Sanne's video she gave some numbers for people who don't have like 1 million followers on Twitter or who don't have Twitter at all, like myself. So I want to use those numbers to talk about some books on my shelves. So here we go. The first numbers she gave were 1 and 5. So 1 is for the shelf and 5 is for the book on the shelf. So the 5th book on my first shelf was The Gospel According to Larry by Jeanette Tashian. This is quite an old book. I read it a lot when I was about 12 or 13, I think. I didn't have too many books back then, and I had a few books that I reread and reread over and over again. Every weekend I stayed in my bed for a long time and I reread one of my favorite books, and this one was definitely one of my favorites. This book is about Josh, and he creates a blog to change the world and to make it a better place. The blog gets really well known worldwide and everyone wants to know who this boy behind the blog is. So the second pair of numbers were 2 and 8, and that directed to this book, 642 Things I Want to Write About. It's a book that you can buy at Urban Outfitters. I saw it there a lot, but I actually bought it at a flea market in Amsterdam called Eihallen, which means egg holes. And it looks like this. It's more of a to-do book than an actual to-read book. But once you've finished all the things you want to write about, for instance, make a scene with a character exhibiting really bad behavior, then you have a lot of things to write about. This whole book. The third pair of numbers were 6 and 3, and those led to The Help by Catherine Stockett. I read this book last summer because I wanted to read certain books that everyone mentions all the time, and at that time The Help was one of them. And I really enjoyed it. It really is this summerish book. It takes place in the summer and everyone is really hot all the time. And at the same time it deals with really important questions and problems in society, and I think that is really interesting. If you're still looking for a book for us to read in summer that is quite easy to read and really funny, but at the same time has a serious content, I think The Help will be the one for you. And the movie is also great, so you should check that out. The next pair of numbers is 6 and 3, and that's To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is actually my second copy of it. I also have this copy. This is my dad's. It actually costed 70 pence when he bought it. It's really old. I didn't read To Kill a Mockingbird yet. I started it a few times when I was a few years younger and it didn't really work out. I didn't get into the story at all and I found it a bit difficult still. But I want to try and read it this summer. The next pair of numbers is 4 and 5, and that is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I absolutely adore this book. I love everything about it. I love the characters, I love the language used, I love the plot, I love the quotes in it, I love the fact that it's narrated by death. I just think that's wonderful, and yeah, I could talk for hours about this book. I absolutely love it, and if you haven't yet read this book, please do, because it's so good. It's so good. I just couldn't stop reading it when I was reading it. I wanted to talk about it all the time, so it's definitely a recommendation. Read this! The last set of numbers is 7 and 11, and that leads to Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. What do I need to say about this book? It's Harry Potter! That's it for now, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!